And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Friday, May 29th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Coleman and Company, hello everybody. We welcome you on a Friday morning. Glad to have you with us this morning. The sun is shining. I don't know for how long, but fantastic Friday going for us. And we are ready to talk about Wilson Bank and Trust this morning. We've got Tanya Strobel here to do the commercial. Tanya, good morning to you.
Good morning.
We're glad to see you today, and of course, always glad to talk about Wilson Bank and Trust each Friday. How long you been with the bank?
Have been with Wilson Bank and Trust a little over 3 years now.
And your title here on your card says President Mortgage Division. So that's a pretty nice title, pretty nice position, and I guess a lot of responsibility.
Well, it means that I serve many people within the mortgage department and figure out how I can help them and make their lives easier. So,
well, what in particular you want to tell us this morning? We know interest rates are low. We wonder if how they can get any lower, really.
I think what is an interesting subject as it relates to mortgage lending and kind of some of the impacts that we've realized as it relates to the COVID-19 impacts. Forbearance is an interesting topic to talk about. As a result of the CARES Act, the servicers are required to go in and allow consumers to not make their mortgage payments for potentially up to 12 months. And as a result of that, today we're running about 8 to 9% of all mortgages in the United States are currently in forbearance. And these servicers are in a position whereby they need that revenue. They need that income to pass on to the agencies and the bondholders. And so we have some volatility in the servicing industry, and there's not really any way to address it. But in addition to that, from a consumer standpoint, they're often not educated on what forbearance means. Mm-hmm. And so, there is no free money. And so when they're calling a mortgage servicer today and they're inquiring about, not making their mortgage payments, they will have to make those mortgage payments up, either in incremental payments over time or a lump sum at the end of the mortgage. But what they're also not aware of is it's going on their credit report. So it will say forbearance on it, and they will not be eligible for another loan on a refinance or purchase until that forbearance is paid off and they've demonstrated they're current again on their mortgage.
Sounds like what you're telling us, there's some fine print there that a lot of people haven't read, are not aware of.
Yes, and many are often surprised about that. Mm-hmm. So as a result, I'd recommend everybody always, when they're having conversations with their servicer, get all of what they've agreed upon in writing. And that way they have something that they can reference back and make sure they heard everything that they needed to hear. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, how has it affected you and the bank?
Really in a positive way. As this scary process came upon everybody, irrelevant of their industry, first and foremost, we realized the lowest historical interest rates ever in mortgage lending, in the commercial side for prime lending rates. So there were a lot of people who could take advantage, and so we had a lot of volume. We were very busy. We had the tornado impacts that we navigated through, barely got our head above water from that, and then we had the coronavirus impacts. And so making team members virtual, putting technology in place in order to be able to take mortgage applications not face-to-face with customers overnight. These were items that were on my to-do list, that never quite got to, that we executed on very quickly. But at Wilson Bank and Trust, when we, went out and did the PPP program, I mean, what a great group of people and the camaraderie that we showed as an organization, people working all hours of the night to achieve the goals in order to help the communities that we serve. So it was fantastic.
Well, have things changed much yet? Is it still we're still rocking along here?
We are. And as it relates to mortgage rates, you know, on a 30-year, we're running about 3.16 on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, 15 years, about 2.65%. And the expectation is that they may go even a little bit lower than that. And it's just incredible interest rates. At that rate, 80% of all homeowners who have a mortgage will realize the savings by refinancing their mortgage. So,
Are you doing a lot of refinancing still?
oh,
That's the name of the game.
it
Anyway.
is. At all hours of the night, we've got lots and lots of mortgage volume coming through, doing lots of refinances for everybody who's interested in doing so.
Well, I can't help but wonder how long is this going to go on. You'd think you're going to hit the bottom and start back up, maybe, but I don't know. That's you got more of a crystal ball than I have.
Well, you know, I kind of live in this world where when bad things happen in the economy, my mortgage rates are fantastic. So I live this duality where, you know, the rest of the world, when the stock market's booming, my mortgage rates go up. So as long as the economy is negatively impacted, mortgage rates should stay low. My mortgage rates are tied to the bond market, and so there's a flight to safety and security with the bond market. So when people are scared of the stock market, that's when supply and demand goes to mortgages and my rates go down. So I'm still seeing a lot of fear out there in the marketplace, but your guess is probably better than mine when we'll be back to normal.
Well, we have used our time for the commercial time here this morning. But Tanya, good to see you. You seem to have an amazing amount of knowledge about all this. But it's kind of your professional life anyway for several years doing this, and we appreciate having you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Tanya Strobel, President, Mortgage Division for Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender, still here, still independent, still committed to you, excellence in banking since 1987. 10 and a half after the hour, and time for us to do our Friday Senate report with Senator Mark Pody.
Good morning, Coleman. It's great to be here today.
And we are glad to have you with us. Now I'll turn your volume up a little more.
Uh-oh. Is that what you do every morning when I'm here?
That's what I do.
I always figure you're playing with adjustments somewhere.
I start you off about 3 or 4. Now you're at 5.5. But how are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, it's been a little different. You've been back to Nashville and been in, I think, committee meetings and so on.
Yes, and we were literally, I'm out in the district again. We're seeing and doing events and all that kind of stuff, so we're back at it. I did do a little bit of research in what's happened with where we are in Tennessee and our death rate and such with the virus. Mm-hmm. And I've started from the first of the year. And we looked and we compared 2019 week by week to 2020. And, we know that Tennessee actually is growing every single year. There's more people here in Tennessee. And so we were looking and we've seen we're having more deaths per, every single week this year when we were going through. But something happened in March. We actually had the first death rate or person pass away from the virus, mm-hmm. and we tracked that up to that March, the week of March 9th, we had 1,481 people die last year. This year we had 1,589 people die. So that week alone, 117 more people had died mm-hmm. in Tennessee. Just comparing the two weeks.
Right.
And then the next week is when the first person passed away from the virus, and that week we had last year we had 1,449 people pass away, and then this year we had 1,578. So 129 more people had passed away. One of those was from the virus, and then we started shutting everything down. So the following week, which would have been March 23rd, we had 1,471 people died last year. 1,508 died this year. So that would have been a plus of 37, which was a very small number or a small increase. Mm-hmm. And then the last week in March, we had 1,479 die last year. We had 1,498 die this year. Only 19 more people had died. And then the next week, when we were shutting things down, it changed. We had 1,561 people die last year. And we had only 1,544 die this year. So even with the virus, we had 17 people less die in Tennessee. And that includes the virus. So, we literally are having less people pass away every year every week because we have shut down. And if we continue that on to where we are right now, and we're just adding these numbers up, we've had 255 people less die this year than for the same time that died last year. So when we're talking, boy, we're looking at this huge death rate that was going to be coming and such, there's less people that have died, even though we have more population in Tennessee. We have less people that are dying just from all causes, including the virus.
255 less in the time that you're figuring here.
Yes, yes, and this is right from the CDC website. Right. I mean, that's as accurate as I know you can get. And it's incredible. And we made all this financial decisions, and we're in this economy that's crashing. We're in all these things based on unreal numbers. We had thought that it was going to be so much worse. We thought that there was going to be 100,000 people now. We thought that it was going to be a really, really serious thing, and it's turning out it just isn't true. The numbers don't show. We've had 356 total deaths, but even if when we add all those in, we're still way down in year-to-date deaths from total causes in Tennessee. This has not been the virus that we had anticipated it to be.
That's incredible.
Yes, it is. And we were just told some numbers that were, and told some stories that were incorrect. And we still hear it on the national news. They're going to report, like we were reporting, we had 415,000 tests that we've done in Tennessee of these things. And our numbers are pretty stagnant. We know about 5% of the people that we test are going to show positive for the virus. That's not changed. I mean, so if we test another, 400,000, we're anticipating the same number. About 5% of the people are going to have it. But we're also seeing the same thing. If we do the same test for the flu, the same test, it doesn't change. We're all still going to have things that we have. If we test the population, how many people have cancer? There's always going to be people that have cancer. There's always going to be people that have heart issues. This is not going to be any different. For every person that has, or every 1,000 people that get the test, there's less than one that's going to pass away. It's like a really, really, really small amount of people that are going to be critically affected by this. But we know who they are. It's going to be a vulnerable population that we've been able to identify. If you got underlying health conditions, if you're a little bit older, you need to be very cautious about what you're doing. But that's who it is. So, we've got that picked out, we've got that analyzed, and this is based on data and not models. It's based on what the facts are and not conjecture. So we know if somebody is a little bit older and they have underlying health conditions, they really need to take this so seriously. You need to wear a mask. You need to be careful going out. But for everybody else, we need to go back to work. We need to pay our bills. We need to get our jobs. We need to go and feed our families. This is going to be here, and it's going to probably be here it's not going to just go away. It's going to be here next year. We're going to be dealing with it just like the flu, just like everything else. We just got to be prepared and take the steps, but we got to get back to work. We got to get the economy back going.
Thank you for that, and we'll take a break here and talk more with Senator Mark Foley on our Friday Senator Report here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:18. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental. Large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. It's busy out here nonetheless here on 24 eastbound, especially trying to get out of Jolton, coming past that crash there between the Cheatham County line and OHB. That's near Whites Creek Pike there on 24 east, coming from all the traffic coming in from Clarksville right now through that part of Jolton on that wreck 24 eastbound. A lot of rubbernecking going on because of this particular crash. Hey, check out the premier luxury vacation cabins near Gatlinburg at Cosby Creek Cabins. Log on CosbyCreekCabins.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medore Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
With over $100 million set aside for disaster relief loans, Wilson Bank and Trust is here to help rebuild the communities that we've called home for over the past 3 decades. If your primary residence was damaged in the tornado and you're facing repairs or completely rebuilding, you aren't forgotten. Contact a loan officer at Wilson Bank and Trust and ask about our discounted disaster relief construction loans and lines of credit. We are here to help, and full recovery is our goal for the community. Call any office of Wilson Bank and Trust or visit wilsonbank.com to learn more about low-interest tornado relief loans. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us. Right now, a fantastic Friday going for us. We have Friday Center Report, Central Mark. What else you want to do?
All right, so we got some more good news that's happening in Tennessee. Our unemployment numbers came in again, and I know we're at a very, very record high unemployment, but our weekly claims that new people applying for is continuing to go down. At one time we hit the high of 116,000 people in a single week applied, and it's been dropping from that 116,000 for that week. Then it went down to 74, then 68,000, then 43,000, then 37,000, then 29,000. It's continuing down, and this is the lowest week we've had now, and it's going to be 26,000 of new people filing for unemployment. So those numbers should be getting better for us as people are going back to work. We here in Wilson County, we had about a 14% unemployment rate, which is a little bit better than the state, but it's still a horrible rate. Yeah. But at least things are opening up and less people are coming in for first-time claims and so forth. So they're getting back to work. That's great news for us as well.
What about the checks? Are they going out? Is that any better?
It is better. It is better. So it used to be we were getting many calls on a daily basis of new people. And Coleman, they're hurting. They are hurting. I've had calls.
You can't blame them, and it's not their fault.
Yeah. And they're I hurt with them because how could somebody be expected to buy diapers, to pay their food when government said that they're not an essential worker and shut them down? And that gets me angry right there, because government never is in a position to determine who is essential and who is not. That is not government's role. And I'm fighting that myself with bills that we're running down at the Capitol. Now, I can't blame our governor all this, because the legislature is the one that put him in this position. They said, if there's an emergency, we're going to task you with doing some of these things. And we put him in a bad position. So we've got to we're the ones that set that up as a legislator. Now we got to bring it back and take that. That should have been things that we were doing in the legislature, not to the governor. So I'm not throwing him under the bus. I'm not trying to say he's done a bad job. I'm saying that we gave him wrong tools, and he's forced to do the tools that he's got. But nowhere should government be in a position to say that this business is essential. You're allowed to go to work, but you're not. That is not right. And then to use police powers to say, if you open your business, we're going to arrest you or we're going to fine you, that is wrong. That is not America. And we're going to stop that. That's not going to happen in Tennessee. So we're running bills to fight that. We're running bills to say this kind of stuff's not going to happen again.
You really feel strongly about
I do. We have overstepped, and we have stepped on our constitutional rights. And if we allow government to do this to us now, especially on things that aren't real, what is it that we're going to give in next time? Benjamin Franklin said, those that will give up their rights for safety will have neither. And we have done that. We have allowed some of us to say, well, we want to be safe, so we're going to let the government make all the decisions for us when we're giving up our rights to do this ourselves. I am not in favor of this at all, and I'm going to fight that, and I'm going to fight for legislation so this kind of stuff does not happen again. I don't want ever that government allows somebody to say, you're in this business, so I think that that's an important business, and you can go on, but you're not important, and you're not going to be able to go on. We've heard that kind of stuff happen in Germany. We've heard that kind of stuff happen in wars before. We're not going to let that happen in Tennessee.
I'm interested to know just what's taken place since last Friday when you've gone to Nashville and the Capitol Hill, the Legislative Plaza, wherever you go.
All right, so I'm going to tell you, it's all different. I mean, even down at the Capitol, if you go on an elevator, you got to stand in certain spots. You can only have 3 people on an elevator. You got plastic things all over. You got to get temperature taken, and I'm kind of a radical because I don't want to.
Does this annoy you a little?
It annoys me a lot.
Has it got under you? Are you visibly annoyed?
Yes, I don't like this whatsoever. And if this was real, and if all the numbers were showing that this was real, that'd be something different. But it's not to the extent that we're overreacting. And the money that we've spent, the money that we put out, the lives that we've affected, because of this, it is devastating. And we've got to put a stop to it. And we're going to. I'm not alone. There's other legislators like that at the Capitol with me that we're saying we need to make sure this does not happen again. We got to put our economy, get it going back again, and make sure that our rights are protected.
What have you actually had some?
Yeah, they have to set an appointment. They can't just walk in yet now, which is different from before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a while you just walk in and at any time come in. Then they said nobody was allowed. Now people are allowed, but they got to have an appointment. So if you want to come down and talk to me, please just call. But I'm going to tell you that if you call and you're outside in the parking lot, I'll get you an appointment. I will get you in. I am not going to be trying to make it where somebody can't come into the people's house, and that's what this is. So I'll find a way to get you in if you come down. Just call my office and we'll work on that. But right now, the biggest thing, like the finance committee that we're in, it's money. We got $500 million, maybe even more, hundreds of millions of dollars that we're short. The state is not getting the revenue that we had anticipated. And therefore, when we do a budget, we have to pass a constitutionally balanced budget year by year. And we're coming up to the end of the year, which is July 1st, or the end of June. And we don't necessarily have all the money that we had anticipated. So we've got to find a way to make up that money. We can either cut some expenses, or we can dip into the rainy day fund. Mm-hmm. A third thing, we could always raise taxes, and I'm absolutely against raising anything. I don't want to raise one penny in taxes. I'm not for a tax increase on anything. However, I believe that in this case, I would go along with perhaps not putting as much into the rainy day fund, or even dipping into the rainy day fund a little bit to help us. That's what it's there for. And I'm always one saying we should put money in the rainy day fund, but it is raining. So now is the time to take that. But I still think we need to tighten our budget a little bit more. There's still things that we should be able to cut. I will tell you that how we do business at the state is going to be a little bit different. Perhaps we don't need as much state office space. We've had everybody working remotely, and maybe that could go on if we don't need to have as much space in the future. That cuts down on overhead, cuts down, and if people are still as productive at home as they are coming in, that means we're going to cut down on traffic. So there's different things we can do along those lines as well. And I want to look to see what we've learned from this going forward, how we can change how we're doing business in the state. So those are things that we're looking at in committees.
What the House seems to want to have a prolonged session and more bills come through and discuss them and so on. I think in the Senate you kind of want to wind things up and get out of there.
Yes,
that's been my understanding.
So the House and all legislation is important, especially to the legislator bringing it. Okay, so there's not something that's not important to them. And the House wants to run them all. And I think that they're having committees to hear everything that had been filed, and they want to put it out, and they're going to put it on the Senate's desk and say, we passed it, now what are you going to do with it? But it's going to be up to the Senate to decide what they're going to take up or what they're not going to take up.
All right, what's your best guess there?
I think it's going to be a compromise. I think there's going to be a few bills that the Senate's going to say, we don't want to take up anyway, but the House is going to say, well, we're not going to pass what you passed unless you take up some of these bills, and they'll hold each other hostage a little bit, and then leadership will come together and compromise and get some passed. The Senate's more saying, look, we're in this crisis right now. Let's just focus on the budget. Let's just focus on the key issues and how do we get this thing done, to balance our budget and so forth. Go home and let's relook at everything with new legislation in January and start over from there. There are some bills that I'd love to get through. I mean, I'm very passionate about some of the bills that I want to get through that aren't Corona and budget related, and they're saying, can we put those aside till next year? And I'm wrestling back and forth with those. If I had to guess right now, I wouldn't mind just being done. Finishing the budget, getting done, and looking at it on a more practical way. What can we do next year to do it right?
But come Monday, you go into official session? Is that
Oh, yes. Yes, we are voting. We got bills that we'll be voting on, and it's going to be going back and forth. Although this is going to be, they've already told us that in the Senate, they've separated us. They moved our desks. So they're going to, now I'm going to tell you, people don't know it, but Coleman, you got social distancing in here. I got, I don't know if it's a weapon, but you got a ruler to make sure I don't get too close to you. But so they're going to have social distancing there as well. And, I'm going to go along with that kind of stuff, even though if it was me, I would not be voting for that. But I don't want to be an outlier of just throwing up in protest for something silly. Yes. However, there are certain things that I'm going to refuse to do. For example, I'm not going to be one that says you must be tested to do this, or you must. I don't think that it's the constitutional rights. And if it's a constitutional right, I will stand up and say, no, this is my right, and I'm not going to let somebody infringe on that. It's one thing just to go along and so forth, but it's something else that if we don't have leadership to say, this is wrong. And
all right, I'm wondering about my calendar. How long before you're going to be out of there?
June 15th is the kind of the date that I've heard. That I've heard halfway through the month, it's when we're going to be done.
Well, we will continue to do our Friday Senate report until then.
Coleman, do you know what? This flew by. I would have swore it's like 20 after.
Well, it's not. It's almost 7:30. Thanks for being with us.
All right.
See you next Friday.
Absolutely, Coleman.
Senator Mark Pody, that's our Friday Senate report. We've got more coming up, so please keep it here. FM 98.9.
And at 7:29, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With a purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Wrapping up the earlier wreck with injuries coming in from Jolton on 24 eastbound between Whites Creek Pike and OHB. Just got so much traffic there coming from Montgomery County, there from Clarksville, headed through that part of Jolton there into Davidson County. Traffic still looking good right now by the airport here on I-40. Hey, it's time to have some summer fun at Adventures Unlimited on the Oconee River. Book online today at adventuresunlimited.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
With churches not being able to gather, we wanted to make sure our audience is aware of our regular Sunday morning programming. We call it God's Country. Starting at 7 to 7:15, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. Then at 7:15 to 7:30, Old Path Missionary Baptist with Brother Jason Wheely. From 7:30 to 8, it's The Gospel Show, hosted by Miss Dean. 8 o'clock, it's College Hills Church with Minister Wilson McCoy. At 8:30 to 9, it's Word of God broadcast by Ronnie Briley. From 9 to 9:30, Hillcrest Baptist Church with Pastor John Ferguson. From 9:30 to 10:30, it's Call on God Today, hosted by Brother Kenneth Bowen. At 10:30, it's another message from College Hills Church. From 11 to 11:30, Maple Hill Church with Minister Rob Long. And from 11:30 to noon, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. Join us each Sunday on WANT or WCOR or online at WANTFM.com.
Since they retired, one couple has ridden every wooden roller coaster in America. What are your goals for the future? Your Waypoint financial professional can help you develop a financial plan to get there. Waypoint, your future, your way. Call your Waypoint financial professionals, Bill Bryson, David Gordon, Tracy Hay, and Tony Helton at 615-444-6548 or log on to axaonline.com. Financial planning services provided by AXA Advisors, LLC.
Hey, this is State Senator Mark Pody. With everything that's going on, I just want to encourage everybody to please be safe and use common sense as the state begins to reopen. We need to get our economy going again. If you have any underlying pre-existing health conditions or issues, or if you're age 60 or older, you need to use the precautions that you feel are needed. Be patient when you go into your local businesses, and remember, we're all in this together. If you all need any kind of service, please give me a call. This is Mark Pody.
We do have some scattered showers in the forecast today, so make sure to pack an umbrella. Highs this afternoon will climb into the low 80s. If you're ready for a sunny weekend, well, I have some good news. Both Saturday and Sunday will have full days of sunshine with highs in the upper 70s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. Here on a Friday morning, we're ready to talk about the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. Medina is here, and who else do you need? Nobody. Good morning. We are glad to have you to talk about what all you do at that location on West Main Street. Wonderful people, great service that you've been offering for years, and somebody answers the phone 24 hours a day. Your people you can trust. And Medina Hemantola, tell us all about it this morning.
How are you doing
this
morning?
I'm doing
Coleman?
well. It's Friday, and the second half is easy because you know who's here.
It's always fun with Terrific Teresa. Always.
Yeah. And you brought me my second cup of coffee. So what else do I want? I got somebody to talk to, and we're looking for 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right now.
And you just don't make a move without me. So, I had to put that in first,
There you go. Okay.
But anyway, we've had a great week, and real estate continues to move. While here in Wilson County, other parts of the country may have stopped, but Wilson County continues to move. We slowed down just a little bit whenever COVID first hit, but we've not stopped showing. It was at first we were just showing vacant houses. People were not comfortable going into houses that people still live there. And so then it got to be a little bit more comfortable. So now, we have to take precautions. Some of the people want you to wear masks, the gloves, and the shoe booties. Other people are fine, just as long as the agent with gloves touches everything and the clients don't touch anything. So, it's a little different than what we do, how we do it, but we still end up with the same result. We get a new house, for somebody. So,
and then I think your sales have been pretty good.
Yes, yeah. We haven't missed a beat. And so that's the good thing about Wilson County. Wilson County is strong, Lebanon's strong, and so we're just continuing to push through it. So anyway, just to let you know that, and then talk about a listing we have on Leeville Road. Now, this is not Leeville Pike. It's Leeville Road. It is over on the 109 exit. Go across the exit, and you'll have Leeville Road right beside it. It runs parallel to the interstate.
Okay.
And you go down there, it's 2862 Leeville Road, and it is a 4,400 square foot home on 3 acres, a very private home. And it has all the bells and whistles you could ever dream of. It has the hand-scraped floors. It has the granite countertops. It has marble in the bathrooms. It has 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. It has a full RV hookup for all these baby boomers that are getting RVs and going places. We have the hookup for you at this house. So it has a workshop in the back. It has a 3-car garage. It's everything you ever wanted, plus your privacy, and you are minutes from the interstate, like maybe 4 minutes to the interstate. 20 minutes from the airport, from the Nashville airport, and it's just got a new price of $689.9. So if you're looking for Wilson County, if you're looking to be close to the interstate and the Nashville airport, you're looking for privacy, you're looking for an RV hookup, you're looking for everything is there, ready, move-in ready, all you got to do is bring your personal stuff, this is the house for you.
All right.
So give us a call about that. And
Which is 443-3130.
That's it.
615-443-3130, and they will get they'll get Medina somebody to get with you right away.
That's right. Yeah, and I'd love to show you the house, and the people living there would love me to show you the house. So they are ready to move on to their next chapter. So anyway, talk about
I'm wondering
that.
what else could they want, but okay.
Exactly, yeah. That's right. Yes, downsizing. Yeah. Their kids have grown up, so they're downsizing, so they would like to move to their next chapter.
Okay.
But somebody that's looking for 3 acres and wanting some room to move, this is the place for them. But I also wanted to give a shout out. I am part of Hope, Joy, Light Women's Christian Cancer Support Ministry from Emmanuel Baptist Church. And they are loyal listeners to 98.9 Coleman Show. and they especially listen when I talk.
Oh.
So I wanted to give a big shout out to them this morning, tell them good morning, and it's a great day. We have a lot of women going through different stages of cancer. We have survivors, and we have just a great time. And so we have not been able to meet physically since all of this.
Yeah.
And so we've been doing Zoom meetings and a lot of text and phone calls just to keep in contact with everybody. So we miss being together, but I just wanted to give a big shout out to them.
Well, let me just say we appreciate all our listeners, especially you. How's that?
Well, hey, that's even better, Coleman. You put the icing on that cake, didn't you? But anyway, so I just want to give a big shout out. And I think that's it for me today. Everybody have a great weekend, and we're always showing over the weekend.
All right, I just want to know, Miss Judy's okay.
She's
Mike's
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
And everybody else is okay.
They're fine. They're just giving me the lead today.
Yeah,
So.
and my friend Doris Gorman, she's still with you, still doing well.
Yes.
All right.
Doris and Diane and Destiny and Cindy and Pam, we're all doing great,
right.
but I just happened to be the leader today.
Okay.
So.
Well, Medina, thanks so much. We will see y'all next Friday.
Yes, and remember,
Don't
make a move without me.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are 21 before the hour, and you've already heard her a little bit this morning, but Terrific Teresa's here. Actually, she's better known as Terrific Teresa, but...
well, to some. I have other names that we won't even talk about.
Teresa Bott is here from the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. Been a regular. Actually, even your predecessor was a regular here.
Right.
Joe Smith actually helped start all of this back when she started in sales here, and that's so long ago, I have no idea.
You know, Joe said, I was talking to Joe not long ago. I think we met in the grocery, and we were talking about our parents, because our parents were very good friends, and we were neighbors on Eastover Road for a lot of years. And Joe said it was her mom, I think, that said, why didn't the radio station go to the senior center and do some stuff? And I'm kind of thinking Joe said, you know, it was Miss Christine Clemens that said, well, y'all should go do that. And so Joe just said something to Susie, and of course Susie was very on board with it. And the rest is history. I've been there almost 19 years. In October, it will be 19 years that I have been there, and I can't believe that. But and
Mrs. Pat
Denton
has actually started coming out here doing what you're doing, and she did that until she retired.
Right.
And then when you took her place, you've been here ever since.
Pat was there for 10 years at the senior center, and she told me before, when she got ready to retire, she said, if you can make it more than 10 years, you're a better woman than me. And 19 years later, I am not a better woman than Pat Denton was. Pat Denton was amazing. But, you know.
Well, you had one thing in common.
What was that?
You both like to talk.
The gift of gab. That's what Patty said to me yesterday. She said, Teresa, you definitely have the gift of gab. We've been doing our Tuesday morning live on Facebook, and we have had so much fun with that, actually. I don't even remember what we did a little trivia thing, and then that led into asking Rick Bell, who is the City of Lebanon historian, to come out, because there were some questions about some of the businesses in town. And one of them was about Joe's Country Bear gift shop, Joe Smith. And Rick called Joe, and she said, you know, I wasn't really the original owner of the Country Bear. It was
James Francis.
Yeah, and I'd forgotten that when Rick said that. I went, oh, yeah, James and Kim had that. And then I think he got a job in South Carolina as the school director. And anyway, it was like, so it was really a lot of fun, especially for those of us that are from Lebanon, Wilson County, our whole lives. It was really fun, but you would not believe how many of my seniors that said, I'm not from Lebanon, but I had so much fun hearing the history of Lebanon. And I love hearing about my seniors talk about. I love them talking about the popcorn stand that was on the square, because it was before my time.
I remember.
But I vaguely, as a very young girl, remember when the courthouse was on the square. And I don't really think I remember when the post office was in the old post office. But, you know, it was a lot of fun talking about the history of Lebanon. And then last week, or this week actually, we did a little cooking thing in the kitchen. We didn't cook. We never turned the stove on. But We did a little thing on what to do with your bananas. Don't throw your bananas away before they get overly ripe. Put them in the freezer. We made smoothies, and we did a what to do and what not to do, not
you
on
do
purpose.
banana bread?
No, we didn't do banana bread.
But you can use old bananas for that.
Absolutely.
And it's, the way Helen does it, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, and if you put them in the freezer, Miss Anna Andrews, one of our members that they've moved back to Indiana, but one day I said, I throw away bananas every week. And she goes, why? And I said, well, my husband does not like them if they're overly ripe. And she said, before they really, don't let them turn brown, but you have to go ahead and peel them first, and then you wrap them in cellophane and you drop them in a freezer bag. And you can even date it so you know which ones are which. But they're really, really good. Take them out of the freezer and slice them.
Oh, you may keep for a long time?
Months
they're frozen.
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, they freeze. But when you get them out, I said, everybody loves those banana popsicles at the fair. This is like having a banana popsicle with no added sugar and no preservatives. It is just a banana. So Patty said, well, I'm going to put them in the freezer without peeling them. Mistake. Don't do it. We laughed. We said this was our what to do, what not to do. And they were pretty ripe. And then when you put them in the freezer, they're going to turn brown. Well, one of hers was like dripping. And I said, I can't look. Blah. But so you peel them. You wrap them in cellophane and you put them in the freezer and take them out in just little slices. They're good. We even put some on some Ritz crackers. We were trying to use things we had there at the center. I myself would put them on a vanilla wafer, put some peanut butter, stick a little banana slice in between 2 vanilla wafers and some peanut butter. And oh my goodness, it was fabulous. But you got to eat them while they're still kind of cold because they probably will get mushy the longer you let them out. Yeah. You can. We put them in smoothies. We made smoothies. And then we also, let's see. We talked about that you can do banana bread, but we didn't want to cook. We didn't have time. But I did cook. I said I didn't cook. I did. I did the microwave mug cakes. And you have to mix a chocolate cake mix or any flavor plus an angel food cake mix. You mix them together really good. 3 tablespoons of the cake mix, 2 tablespoons of water in the microwave for a minute. And everybody that has eaten one of those has loved them. I made them for my mom and for Randy, and I took one to Tim yesterday, and they're really good. And, for seniors, or if you don't want to make a whole cake, you don't want to throw a cake away, make a single serving.
Can you read sign language?
MJ, I'm bringing you one. You like chocolate? Oh, listen, they are so good. I have this mix on my counter at home, and I will bring you one. Oh, my gosh. But it is so good. And for seniors, if you make a whole cake and you're living by yourself or just you and Helen, there's no way y'all would eat that whole cake. It would dry out. No. But you can make one and split it, which you're not going to do that because you're going to want the whole piece. Just make 2. I keep icing in the refrigerator, heat that icing up. It was really so good, and we had a lot of great comments about it. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you have not gone on Facebook and liked the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center, you're missing out because Patty and I are really having a lot of fun with our Tuesdays. And so Patty's trying to figure out, who's going to come help her. I'm going on vacation this week. Oh. And so who's going to come out and help her? So I don't know, Coleman. She might call you and tell you to come be on with her. I don't know what she's going to do, but it'll be fun.
You know what it's time for me to say?
It's time for a break.
No, more cooking with Teresa coming. Coming up, this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:47. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota and Rental. Large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Wrapping up the earlier wreck with injuries coming in from Jolton on 24 eastbound between Whites Creek Pike and OHB. Just got so much traffic there coming from Montgomery County, there from Clarksville, headed through that part of Jolton there into Davidson County. Traffic still looking good right now by the airport here on I-40. Hey, it's time to have some summer fun at Adventures Unlimited on the Oconee River. Book online today at adventuresunlimited.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
this pandemic, people have cleaned out their closets, decluttered their homes, and improved their landscaping.
Well, now since your home is looking good, maybe you should think about selling it, but you don't have a clue what you might could get for it.
You can call us to come out and give you a market value price with no obligation.
Remember, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentaler at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Tenova Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
Coleman and Company, we thank you for joining us, and thanks to Teresa Watts for coming to represent the Lebanon Senior Citizens Center. And we laugh about this. This is one of the easiest interviews that I do because there's not much interviewing. We just let you talk, but you have so much to talk. I do want to ask this. I mean, of course, we all know, especially if we're members to Lebanon Senior Citizens Center, we know that place has been shut down. Middle of March.
March the 12th was actually, I did a little timeline. Patty said, we have been working every day.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm actually going to take a week of vacation this next week, but we've been really busy. At first, we did deliver homebound meals on that Friday, March the 13th. But the center was closed. We were following the executive orders of the governor and of the mayor, and we were closed. But we delivered homebound meals. Well, we were able to get some food.
So March the 12th was the last time it was open, and that Thursday.
That was our very last day to be open.
That's the last time I played pool, I think.
I know. And so we were closed on that Friday. We delivered homebound meals. But after that, they decided they didn't think it was safe for our deliverers to be out delivering and such. So what we did was we got some food from the fire department that was tornado. I mean, we went straight from a tornado on March the 3rd to 10 days later, closure for coronavirus. And so anyway, we were able to send out food boxes. And it had like soups and peanut butter. And Beth Petty with the Lebanon Special School District, who is my best friend, and I love Beth Petty, she gave us some of the backpack boxes that they send out, and they had juices and like the dairy, pure milk and cereal and peanut butter crackers and little cans of soup, and it was great. And we sent that out for about 3 weeks, and then our homebound members said, we don't want that anymore. We're sick of soup and we're sick of peanut butter, and we want real food. And don't we all want real food? And so, Patty talked to the mayor and said, look, they want cooked food, and our kitchen staff is here. And we had all worked, and we'd been cleaning and organizing. And she said, can we please send out homebound meals again? They're hungry. I had one of my little men I called to check on, and he has Parkinson's and he is struggling. And he said, Teresa, I'm hungry. I've already lost like 15 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I'm hungry. And I said, I'm sending you lunch every day starting Monday. And so we were able to start on Monday, April the 20th. We started sending out homebound meals, and it started with like 42 meals that day. We had called the ones that had previously gotten it and said, do you want us to do lunches again? And the majority of them said yes. A few of them had gone and moved in with their kids, or vice versa. And as of yesterday, we sent out 62 lunches. So we've increased that by 20. And it was through phone calls and necessity. And our seniors are hungry. They couldn't get out. They were eating peanut butter and soup, and they're sick of that. And, they've driven through some drive-thrus, and they're tired of that. So we're sending out 62 meals every day, and we've got 2 girls that are working in the kitchen, Patty and Mo and I, and we've got Cindy Yahola is working with us now. And we're making a lot of phone calls. Well, now everybody is so excited to do their little drive-bys. And you and Helen hadn't driven through and let us take your picture yet, Coleman, but don't let me forget, I'll take your picture before I leave today. We've been putting their faces on Facebook.
Well, by the way, we have 4 grandchildren at our house. Would you like for us to come by and
The boys and the girls. You
Yeah.
have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Well, my youngest 2 sons'
Yes.
children, right? The older ones are
yay.
somewhere else.
I would love to see your girls. Please come by. I'm come by before lunch or before 1:30. I'm gonna cut out early today and use a little comp time so I can get ready for vacation.
Okay, well, back to your meals now. Who's delivering them?
Well, we have, and it's a different group of deliverers. Some of our deliverers were, yes, we'll deliver, and they called back and said, my kids told us no.
Oh.
And this has definitely been a role reversal because so many of my seniors have said, my kids have told me I can't get out. My kids have told, my kids. And everybody's, worried and this has been tough. And
I know my son told me not to get up on the roof and do something, but I did anyway.
Yeah. And I, all I'm going to say is on my way here and in the parking lot when I was listening to Mark Pody, I was clapping my hands and saying, "Preach it, brother! This is America. This is America." Veteran. We just had Memorial Day. Those people died for our freedom. This is America. It's our choice. Churches are having divisions over wearing face masks. This is ridiculous. It's our choice. It's a choice. Yeah. It's a choice.
That's the way I feel about it.
It's a choice, but all right, enough preaching, Teresa. But yeah, it is. And this has been really tough. My mom, I was taking some pictures, took them home. Mom's not on Facebook and showing her. And she goes, they all look awful. They look scared. They look sad. They don't. And I said, well, for one thing, they made us shut our beauty shops, which, I sent some letters to Susan Lynn and Clark Boyd and said, look, Teresa is not going to be pretty if you don't hurry up and open that beauty shop. Okay. And so I finally got to go see Jenny. But, I think people are scared to get out and go get well groomed. We need haircuts and but every day I get up, I put my clothes on, I put me a face on, I fix my hair, I feel better about myself. Yeah. And, I suggest to everybody, even if you're staying home, do you not have a mirror in your house? Because if you have to look at yourself, even if you're alone, put your best self forward. When you walk by that mirror, smile at yourself. Life is good, Don't lose your joy through this. And we have tried so hard, everything Patty and I do, we kind of poke each other in the ribs and say, smile. Yeah, life is good.
Now, listen, everybody's wondering, or a lot of people are, when we're going to open back up, and if and when we do, what's it going to be like? Do you have anything to share on that?
I don't know 100%. Of course, I don't know, but we are following the governor's guidelines because the mayor is following the governor's guidelines, and Mayor Ash has told us that the governor, and we have the decree, says we can't open before the end of June, and that's senior citizen centers. So we are following those orders. We want to keep our seniors safe, but we want them to be happy. So many of them are really struggling with depression and loneliness and nutrition. They were so used to having our meals there every day. And
the fellowship and being with everybody means a lot too.
Absolutely.
Helen and I've counted 5 people that we are aware of that's passed away since this all started. There may be more, but 5 that.
And it wasn't of COVID.
No,
it wasn't of COVID. It's taken its toll. I mean, I did look at those pictures and when they come through, they paint on a big smile, but it has been hard. It has been hard. One of my men calls every day. He's 95. He wants to come shoot pool. And he said to me, Teresa, I'm 95. Are you going to let me die without shooting pool ever again? But we have to follow rules. We do want the seniors to be safe. What will we have to do when they come back in? We bought thermometers that we're going to shoot you in the head, Coleman. We bought them. Will we have to take their temperature? We don't know, but we want to have that. If the governor says we have to take their temperature before we let them in, we will. If we have already looked at our dining room. We're trying to space it out where we'll have 4 people at a table. And, we want to follow the rules. And if somebody did get sick because we didn't follow the rules, that would be on us. I'm not going to jail because of that, but my heart is going to hurt for the rest of my life if I were the reason. I have a brand new grandbaby that was born on May the 3rd that I have not touched yet. No. I have seen him, but I have not touched him yet. You know, do I hate this COVID? Yes, I hate this COVID. Do I hate wearing a face mask? Yes, I hate wearing a face mask. Do I hate social distancing? You know, I love to hug people. It's been tough. It has been very tough emotionally for a lot of people. You know, we're going to do our best. If you looked at your June newsletter, the one thing that we did, and the one thing I encourage people to do is get up out of that chair, get off that couch, quit sitting on your hiney. You got to exercise. A lot of my seniors are going to have a hard time walking from their car inside the center because they are not going anywhere. Walk to the mailbox, do something, but get up out of that chair. Do not sit. If you do, you're never going to get up. My exercise class, I make them stand up and sit down 10 times without pushing up with their hands, and we do it twice. There's a reason. You got to be able to get out of that chair. Converse with people. There is a part of your brain that only works when you have a thought process. Well, if you sit and do circle words and watch TV all day, you don't use that part of your brain. I've heard Dr. Fred at the Hearing Health Center say how important it is for your brain to carry on conversations with people. And, pick up your phone, call your friends, use that thought process in your brain, because guess what? You're going to come back to the center and people are going to talk to you and you're going to go, because that part of your brain is not working anymore. Use your brain. It's great to read a book. It's great to talk to people. It's great to do circle words. I play words with friends with my little friend Cheryl that's in the hospital bed, and she's playing words with friends with me.
And she is doing fine.
She's doing great. Yeah. Yay, Cheryl. I'm ready for you to come back and line dance. But, when will we get to open? We hope the first week of July. We don't know. With what regulations will there be? We don't know. But we're going to follow them. We're going to do whatever we're told to do and try to keep our seniors safe. Stop by and see us. Say hi if you need anything. I went to Al's and went shopping for 3 seniors yesterday. They made me quite extensive grocery list, and we're trying to keep them home and safe. Well, the Lebanon Police Department's going to deliver those boxes for us today, and we'll want to keep you safe. We want to keep you healthy. Call your friends. Use that thought process. Get up out of that chair. Get up out of that chair. Get up out of that chair. That's all I'm going to say.
Teresa, thanks for being with us. See you next month.
Yes, and I hope we'll have really great news about reopening when I come back.
Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Till Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.